Today we continue our lecture with the Unit 6 matrices, and our topics are Gauss-Jordan and eigenvalue, eigenvector. So let's start the examples with the Gauss-Jordan method. This is our today's lecture is an important lecture. So please be concentrate. See here, investigate for what values of lambda and mu the equations have no solution, unique solution, and many solution. Here we have given a linear system of equation, and in this we have given a lambda and mu. We want to find the value of lambda and mu such that this equation have no solution, this equation have unique solution, and for that this equation have many solution. So let's start the solution of this example. As you know, as per the yesterday's lecture, if you want to convert this system of equation into the matrix form, right? So this is the coefficient matrix, this is our variable x, y, z, and this is our right hand side, 8, 13, and mu. Okay, it is as similar as our yesterday's lecture. Now, if we want to write this matrix into the augmented form, so then this is 1 to 1, 2 to 2, and 3, 4 lambda. So this is our coefficient matrix. And this is line 8, 30 mu, right? So this is augmented form, which is also as equal as our yesterday's lecture. Now, listen. For the solution of this matrix, I am going to apply Gauss-Jordan method. And for Gauss-Jordan, what is the difference? What is the difference of the Gauss elimination and Gauss-Jordan? That is, as you know, row echelon form. And reduce row echelon form. Right? So for Gauss elimination, you have to apply row echelon form. And for Gauss-Jordan method, you have to apply reduced row echelon form. So for this example, I am going to apply Gauss-Jordan method. So I am going to convert this matrix into the reduced row echelon form. That's why first my leading element is 1 here. I'm going to convert this 2 and 3 into the 0 form. So by doing row operation in the second row and third row, I get the below element of this leading element into the 0 form, right? Now, I'm going to convert this minus 2 into the 1. That's why I'm doing minus 1 half R2. So by doing minus 1 half R2, this one is 1 and this one is 3 by 2. First row and third row is keep it the same. Now, my next aim is to convert this minus 2 into the 0. So, by doing third operation in the third row, R3 plus 3R2, I'm getting this. Okay. Now, this step is really most important. For what is the value of lambda and mu for no solution? Student, when we get no solution, if our left hand side is 0, okay, as per our yesterday's lecture, if our left hand side is 0 and right hand side is non-zero, then system is inconsistent and has no solution. So when our left hand side is 0, if lambda equal to 3, right? If I put lambda equal to 3, then 3 minus 3 is 0. So my left hand side is 0. And mu not equal to 21, then mu right hand side is not 0. So for lambda equal to 3 and mu not equal to 21, system is inconsistent and has no solution, because if I take lambda equal to 3, then my left hand side all elements are 0 and my right hand side is non-zero. At that time my system is inconsistent and has no solution. Any doubt, student, for this first solution? Okay. For the second one, they ask unique solution. For unique solution, both should not be zero. Left hand side is non-zero row and right hand side, it may be zero, it may be not zero. So if lambda not equal to 3, lambda not equal to 3 means your left hand side is non-zero row and your right hand side is any number. For your right hand side is any number, your system is consistent and has unique solution. Understood? For lambda not equal to 3 and mu has any value, any number, then your system is consistent and has unique solution. And the last, many solution. If lambda equal to 3 means what? This is converting to the zero form. Mu equal to 21, it means what? This is also converting to the zero form. It means your matrix is convert like 1 2 1 8 0 1 0 3 by 2 and the last row is 0 from both the side. If your last row is 0 from both the side, at that time your system is consistent and has infinite many solution. If left hand side as well as right hand side, all numbers are 0, then system is consistent and has infinite many solution. How it is possible? I will teach you in the next example, right? So let's start next example. Solve the system of linear equation using Gauss-Jordan method. Okay, so they particular ask to use Gauss-Jordan method and they give one system here. We convert this system of equation into the matrix form. This is augmented form. Here we have to apply Gauss-Jordan. So here my leading element is already 1. Now I'm going to convert this -1 and 3 into the 0, right? So by doing one operation in the second row and one operation in the third row, that is R2 plus R1 and R3 minus 3R1, we get both elements in the 0 form, right? Now our next move is I want to convert this -1 into the 1. So by doing -1 into R2, this is 1. For converting -10 into the 0, I'm doing one operation in third row, that is R3 plus 10R2. R3 plus 10R2. So this -10 is converted into the 0 form. Now the next move, I want to convert this -52 into the 1. So by doing -1 by 52 into R3, this is my row echelon form, students. This is my row echelon form. And Dev, please let me complete this example, then go to the first step. Okay, because we have already completed so many steps. So here, this is my row echelon form. Now, I want to convert into the reduced row echelon form. So as per yesterday's lecture, first I want to convert this -5 and 2 into the 0. That's why I'm doing one operation in the second row and one operation in the first row. That is R2 plus 5R3 and here R1 minus 2R3. By doing this operation, this -5 and 2 will convert into the 0. Now the last step is remaining and that is to convert this 1 into the 0. That's why I'm doing one operation in the first row. That is R1 minus R2, right? By doing R1 minus R2. So I get this is reduced row echelon form, right? Now, as this is matrix, so if I convert this matrix into the system, 1 into x equal to 3. So x equal to 3, y equal to 1, and z equal to 2. Okay. So I have a particular solution, x equal to 3, y equal to 1, and z equal to 2. Okay. Okay. So this is the solution of the example. Yes, Dev, this is the first slide. What happened? Have you any doubts, student, about this example? Let me ask in the chat box. Okay, okay, Dev. So let's move with one more example with Gauss-Jordan. Okay, see, this is the solution of the given example. For the next example, Again, we convert. See, they ask about solve the system of linear equation using Gauss-Jordan. Again, we have a system of linear equation. We convert into the matrix form. We convert into the augmented form. As we want to convert this matrix into the reduced row echelon form, our first aim, we want to convert this 2 into the 1 for the leading element. So by doing 1/2 R1. Ishika, I already told you. I think you didn't. I already told you, Ishika, if they ask for Gauss elimination method, you have to go for row echelon form. They ask for Gauss-Jordan method, you have to go for reduced row echelon form. It's really very easy. I think you didn't hear this. Okay. So as we want to use Gauss-Jordan method, which method we have to apply? Reduced row echelon form, right? As this, they want Gauss-Jordan, we have to apply reduced row echelon form. And for reduced row echelon form, first I want to convert this 2 into the 1. So I'm doing my first operation in the row operation, that is 1/2 R1. So by doing 1/2 R1, I get this matrix. Now want to convert this -2 and 8 into the 0. So by doing these two operation, I get this 2 0, right? See, the next move is I want to convert this 7 into the 1. But see carefully. This is 0, 7, 4, 1 and this is 0, -7, -4, -1. So both are same. There is just signs different. So by doing R3 plus R2, my below row is 0 from both the side. Okay. Now I want to convert this 7 into the 1. So by doing 1/2 1/7 R2, this is. See students, for the reduced row echelon form, this is my leading element. So all below element must be 0. This is my leading element. So all below and upper elements must be 0. So I am going to convert this 1 into the 0. And for converting this 1 into the 0, I am applying R1 minus R2. And this 1 is in the 0 form. Now, there is no leading element in the third column, right? There is no leading element in the third column. So no need to convert 4/7 and 3/7 into the 0 form. Okay, got it? For reduced row echelon or row echelon form, if there is a leading element in any column, then the below element and upper element should be 0. But if there is no any leading element, then no need to convert the other element into the 0 form. Okay, now corresponding system of equation is, this is what? X plus 3/7z. This one is 0, so no need to write 0 into y. 1 into x is x plus 3/7 into z equal to -7. So this is from the first row. This equation is the second row. And this one, for the last one, there is all elements, left hand side and right hand side is 0. So z equal to t, and this t is free variable. Okay, z equal to t and t is free variable. So if I substitute z equal to t in first and second equation, my value of x is what? -1/7 minus 3/7t. Similarly, for the second, 1/7 minus 4/7t, right? So these are the three solutions of the given system where t is any parameter, where t is parameter, so it is any number. Now got it, student? For if all values left hand side and right hand side are 0, then there is one free variable. And the same method is applicable for Gauss elimination also. If in Gauss elimination, if you receive 1 0 row from the left hand side and right hand side, then you have one free variable. Any doubt? Any doubts, students? Let me ask in the chat box. Okay. Okay, so let's move with one more example. That is inverse of a matrix by Gauss-Jordan method. You can find inverse with the help of the determinant also, but if you have given 4 by 4 matrix, then want to find determinant, it is really a little bit difficult. And if you ask find inverse, simple, then also you can apply this method. And if you ask find inverse with elementary transformation, find inverse by Gauss-Jordan method, in all case, you can apply this method. Here we have given 1 3 by 3 matrix. And if we write it is like A, right? So A is our 3 by 3 matrix. So A equal to I3A. Both are same. Why? Because suppose we have 5 equal to 1 into 5. Both are same or not? Both are same. Similarly, in the matrix, I3 is identity. Here we have given 3 by 3 matrix. So I am taking here I3, unitary matrix, identity matrix. Right? So this is my A, which is given A. I3 is the identity matrix. And this A, I'm simple writing just A here. Now, listen student. By doing reduced row echelon form, I convert by doing, listen carefully, by doing reduced row echelon, I convert my left hand side matrix into the identity matrix. And for that, whatever operation I do left hand side, the same operation will do in the right hand side. Okay. So let's start. First, I want to convert this 3 into the 1. So I'm doing R1 minus R2 because 3 minus 2, right? 3 minus 2 is 1. So by doing R1 minus R2, I get this matrix, and the same operation I am doing on the right hand side. The next, I want to convert this 2 into the 0 form. This 0 is already 0, right? So for converting this 2 into the 0 form, so I am doing one operation in the second row. Wait a minute. Okay. Okay. Minus 6, not 0. Okay. Minus. Okay. See, student, one mistake is there. Here minus, if I apply R1 minus R3. See, no, I'm, is this? 1 minute. Dev, you have did minus 3, but this is what? Minus 3, minus 3. So minus 3, minus plus 3. So it is 0, Dev. Right? I am right. If I am doing R1 minus R2, what is my R1? My R1 is minus 3. What is my R2? My R2 is also minus 3. But here minus 3. So minus plus Dev. Right? Okay. So students, this is here I want to convert this 2 into the 0. So by doing R2 minus 2 R1, so I convert this 2 into the 0 form, and the whatever else changes I have done both the side, left hand as well as right hand. The next I want to convert this minus 3 into the 1. So I am doing the interchanging of second row with third row. Okay, that is minus 1. Minus 1 is minus 1 is here, and minus 3 4. The similarly interchanging the second row and third row right hand side also. As I want to convert minus 1 into the 1, so by multiplying minus 1 in the second row. Okay, so this is 1 minus 1, and this one is minus 1, right? Next move, I want to convert this minus 3 into the 0. So I'm doing R3 plus 3R2. So by doing this is my 0. The last one is already 1, and I want to convert this minus 1 into the 0. That's why I'm doing R2 plus R3. So this is my identity matrix. And for the identity matrix, whatever matrix I get right hand side, this is my inverse. See, if 5 into 1 by 5, then 5 and 1 by 5 are what? Inverse of each other. 5 is inverse of 1 by 5, and 1 by 5 is inverse of 5. because multiplication of 5 into 1 by 5 is 1. Similarly, this is my identity matrix, right? So whatever matrix I found here, I call it is B. So here, and this is my A. So this A and B are inverse of each other. A is given matrix. We get matrix B. So B is inverse of A. Okay, students? Any doubt? Any doubt, students, about the inverse of the matrix by Gauss-Jordan method? Okay. So this is really important method, Gauss-Jordan. You can solve the system of linear equation. You can find the inverse as well, right? Now, let's move with the eigenvalues and eigenvector. Okay. So let A be a square matrix of order n cross n. If there exists a non-zero column matrix X of order n cross 1 and a scalar lambda such that Ax equal to lambda x, then lambda is called eigenvalue and this x is called eigenvector. Lambda is eigenvalue and x is eigenvector. This is the definition. Now, the characteristic equation for the solving or for the finding eigenvalue, that is determinant of A minus lambda I equal to 0. And this is the definition of eigenvector. We can solve this matrix homogeneous equation A minus lambda I into x equal to 0. And this system will have non-trivial solution x, then x is called eigenvector. For the better understanding of these definitions, let's start some example. See, I have written some steps for finding eigenvalue and eigenvectors. We will apply these steps for finding this equation, for these values, eigenvalue and eigenvector. My first step, consider characteristic equation, determinant of A minus lambda I equal to 0. See, there is a particular equation for 3 cross 3 matrix. This is lambda cube minus S1 lambda square plus S2 lambda minus determinant of A equal to 0. And for 2 by 2, this one, right? See, what is S1? Sum of principal diagonal element. Sum of principal diagonal element. And what is S2? Sum of minor of principal diagonal elements. Sum of minor of principal diagonal elements. Okay. So, and other steps are we see simultaneously with the solution of the example. See, our question is what? Find eigenvalues and eigenvector corresponding to this matrix, right? So this is our characteristic equation, right? And this is our matrix. For the characteristic equation, as you know, we want to find S1, S2 and determinant A, right? So this is determinant of A. For determinant of A, 4, this is minus 9, minus plus 8, 4 minus 9 plus 8. For the second step, minus 6, minus 3 plus 2. And for this 6, minus 4 plus 3. So after simplification, we get minus 4. Now what is S1? S1 is the sum of the diagonal elements, 4, 3 and minus 3. That is 4. Okay. And S2 is the sum of the minor of the diagonal elements. Now, sum of the minor of the diagonal elements is what? So, first is for 4. What is minor? For 4, we have to skip first row and first column. So, this is my minor. 3, 2, minus 4, minus 3. Plus, next, for the second diagonal element, what is my minor? For second diagonal elements, I have to skip second column and second row. My minor is 4, 6, minus 1, minus 3. 4, 6, -1, -3. And for the third one, as third diagonal element is what? -3. So we have to skip third column, third row. My minor is what? 4, 6, 1, 3, right? So after simplification, -9 plus 8. -9 plus 8, that is -1. -12 plus 6, -6. And 12 minus 6, just this is -1, -6 plus 6. So final answer is -1. Any doubts, students, till this step? Let me know. Any doubt till this step? Okay, very good. So students, here we get the value of determinant determinant A, S1 and S2. Okay. Now we'll substitute all these value. We'll substitute all these value in this. Here, this is our characteristic equation, A minus lambda I. What does it mean? Here we have to just subtract lambda from these diagonal elements. So here, see, this is our given matrix, right? Sorry. This is our given matrix, right? So I have to just write this matrix with 4 minus lambda, 3 minus lambda, and -3 minus lambda, right? See, this is my characteristic equation. Now, as I told you, the particular characteristic equation, by solving this equation, I got this formula, right? Lambda q minus S1 lambda square plus S2 lambda minus. So we have the value of determinant of A, S1 and S2. So by substituting all the values S1, S2 and determinant, we have this equation. This is cubic equation. Listen, student. As I see, already we learned how to solve this equation in our basic maths lecture. Agree? I again repeat the same method once time. For the other example, you have to do by yourself. For lambda cube, coefficient of lambda cube is 1. Coefficient of lambda square is -4. Here is -1 and this is 4. The summation of all elements are 0. It means there is one factor, that is lambda -1. Summation of all elements, -4 plus 4, 1 minus 1. So summation of all elements are 0. It means there is one factor, there is lambda -1. And as lambda -1 is one factor, I have to substitute here 1, 0. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 into 1, I'm putting here. -4 plus 1 is -3. By multiplication of 1 into -3, I'm putting here -1 minus 3, that is -4. 1 into -4 is -4 and 0. So one factor is lambda -1 and other factor, this is the coefficient of lambda square. This is the coefficient of lambda and into -4, right? So this is lambda square -3 lambda -4. Now, after this lambda -1 and the factor of this lambda square -3 lambda -4 is what? Lambda plus 1 lambda -4. The factor of this quadratic equation is lambda plus 1 lambda -4. So there are total 3 values. Lambda equal to 1, lambda equal to -1 and lambda equal to 4. It means we have total 3 eigenvalues are there. 1, -1 and 4. Okay. So we did one task, we find eigenvalue. Now we want to find the eigenvector. For eigenvector, consider the characteristic equation. This is A minus lambda I equal to 0. So as you know, A minus lambda I, so this is 4 minus lambda 6, 6, 1, 3 minus lambda 2, -1, -4, -3 minus lambda. This is XYZ equal to 0, which is homogeneous equation. If here right hand side equal to 0, constant term is 0, so it is homogeneous equation. Okay, this is the rule. Students, this is the rule. See, this is step 2. For every example, step 2, you have to write homogeneous equation. A minus lambda I equal to 0. your homogeneous equation A minus lambda equal to 0. So I am writing here for the step 2, A minus lambda equal to 0. Now, for step 3, we have to substitute one by one every eigenvector in this matrix. So by substitute our first eigenvector, this is my first, lambda 1 is equal to 1, my first eigenvector. So I'm substituting lambda equal to 1. By substituting lambda equal to 1, I get this matrix. Now I want to solve this matrix. So you can solve this matrix by Cramer's method also, right? You have to find the value of x, y, and z. Here I am doing two operations, R1 minus 3R2 and R3 plus 2R2. So here my first row is 0. Left hand side as well as right hand side. What does it mean? It means my one variable is free. Two rows are there. So from second row I have one equation. From third row I have other equation, right? So from third row value of x is what? 0. And from second row, x plus 2y plus 2z. So x plus 2y plus 2z, but value of x is 0. So if I get 2 common, y plus z is 0. But here, one row is 0 from left hand side as well as right hand side. So one variable is free. So I assume let y equal to 1. If y equal to 1, you can take any value. Not necessary that you have to take just one only. Let take y equal to 1. Then your z is minus 1. So now you have all three values, x0, y1 and z minus 1. This is your first eigenvector. Again, I repeat, you can take y any value as per you because there is one free variable. Now, step 4. As our second eigenvector is minus 1. So I am substituting lambda equal to minus 1 in these equations, right? So by substituting minus 1, 4 minus minus plus 1, so 5. And the other members are 6, 6, 1, 4, 2, minus 1, minus 4, minus 2, right? Now, from this, see, you can see easily, here second row and third row, both are same. There is just one difference, that is minus difference. Minus signs difference, right? So it means here we have exactly two rows. First row, that is 5x plus 6y plus 6z equal to 0. Second row, that is x plus 4y plus 2z equal to 0. And we need only two rows for the solution of this example. We didn't need the third row. Okay. So as we have two rows are there, and by using Cramer's rule, which you already know, you apply in school days. So for x, we apply the determinant of 6, 6, 4, 2. For minus y, 5, 6, 1, 2, 5, 6, 1, 2. And for z, 5, 6 and 1, 4. So by applying Cramer's rule, we get the value of x, y and z, and that is minus 6, minus 2 and 7. So this is my second eigenvector. For lambda equal to 4, this is my third eigenvector, yeah? So by applying lambda equal to 4, I get this matrix. So by doing 1 by 6 R1, I got this 0, 1, 1, right? So by here, we need just two equations. There are total 3 equations from this matrix, but we need only 2 equations. So from first row, I have y plus z. Sorry, y plus z equal to 0. And from second row, x minus y plus 2z equal to 0. So I'm taking for equation from the first row and second row. And again, I'm applying Cramer's rule and I get my third eigenvector. Okay, students? So hence the required eigenvalues are 1, minus 1 and 4. And corresponding eigenvectors are these. For the first eigenvalue, for the second eigenvalue, and for the third eigenvalue. So any doubt, student, about this eigenvalue and eigenvector? You have to just remember these these steps. Okay, first from this equation for 3 by 3 matrix, you You have to apply this formula, right? Have you any doubts, students? This is little bit lengthy. You have to do practice. Let me know in the chat box. Have you any doubt? Okay, okay. So let's move with one more example. Students, this is the find the eigenvalue and eigenvector of A. Same kind of example is this. So let's take a short. See, this is our equation 3 by 3 for matrix 3 by 3. This is our characteristic equation. Here value of S1 is the sum of the diagonal elements 2, 3 and 2, that is 7, right? S2 is the sum of the minor of the diagonal elements, right? This is 11 and the determinant is 5. So by applying, so previous slide. Okay, Janil. Okay, Janil, this is my question. You can check this by, I will share this link of today's lecture, right? So you can check by the link also. Okay. So the same thing. Here we get total 3 eigenvalues, 1, 1 and 5. It means 2 eigenvalues are same in this case. So first I am finding eigenvector regarding this lambda 3 is equal to 5. So for the matrix here lambda equal to 5. By substituting lambda equal to 5 in this characteristic equation A minus lambda equal to 0, I have this one matrix. Here I have total 3 equation, but I need only 2 equation. So I'm writing here minus 3x plus 2y plus z equal to 0. Similarly, x minus 2y plus z equal to 0. And by using Cramer's rule, okay, I have the value of x, y, and z, that is 4 minus 4 and 4. But this is 1 by taking 4 common. So my first eigenvector is 1 minus 1 and 1. Now, here lambda 2 and lambda 3 both are same, that is 1. So if I substitute lambda 1 in this equation, right? So 1 to 1, 1 to 1 and 1 to 1. All 3 rows are same. As all 3 rows are same, so I have only 1 row is there. It means I have one equation, x plus 2y plus z equal to 0. Here we have one equation and 3 variable. It means 2 variable must be free variables, right? Here total 2 rows are 0 from left hand side and right hand side. So here we have 2 free variables. So I suppose that y is equal to t and z is equal to s, where t and s are any real numbers. So by substituting y is equal to t and z is equal to s, so here yt and z is s, so x is equal to minus 2t minus s, right? Now you can take, if I take t equal to 1 and s equal to 0, so this is my second eigenvector. And if I take t equal to 0 and s equal to 1, this is my third eigenvector. You can take any value of t and s. No need to take the particular 1 and 0, right? Here I have selected t1 and s0. You can take any value for t and s because it is a free variable. So got it, students? Any doubt about the eigenvalue and eigenvector? As we have less time, students, please do practice by yourself for all the chapters. Without practice, you cannot score well in maths, right? And for your any query, you can call me or message me through Telegram between 2:30 to 4 p.m. today. Okay? Okay, students, please do practice. Thank you very much, students.